I'm Untitled Chapter, and today I'm going to share my acne story with you guys because I have been a little bit skeptical about the fact whether I should go ahead and share my acne story with you guys, whether you guys can benefit out of it or not, because I feel like acne to each skin is own and to each body type is own. Like everyone's skin behaves differently, and before using anything you should always consult your doctor, because you shouldn't go ahead and do anything. But I have a different kind of like dermat story with myself, but still I will always recommend to consult a doctor. It's going to be in two parts. Like, I'm not going to share my skincare routine in this video. It's going to be entirely by my acne story and what caused me all these kind of acne, so it will be all about that. Before going ahead, I have already grabbed my cup of cold coffee. I hope you guys grab it too. I hope this video doesn't end up too long, but yeah, even for a 10-minute video you definitely need to have a coffee to keep you awake. At least I need a lot of energy to speak, because I'm going to only speak in this video a lot, and it's like I'm not showing anything, I'm just sitting and talking to you guys. That's all this video is going to be about. Back to the time when I had my acne for the very first time. Yes, it was like a typical teenage acne which I started with. Like, I was in my 13 or 14-year-old. That was the time I hit my peak and the acne started triggering. Little that I know at that point of time that it was due to the hormonal imbalance or something like that. I was too young, I was very naive to know all these stuff at that point of time. Now I know everything, and that's absolutely fine, because as you grow up you learn everything what happens, and you are always keen to know what are the whys behind everything. So that is something right now I can tell you. If you're dealing with that kind of acne, if you're dealing with teenage acne, then it's absolutely normal. Let it happen. Do not touch your acne, because definitely it's going to spread the bacteria. Do not do that. That's a one tip, because I always used to pop out my acne. That was a very bad habit I used to have. So due to that I had many scars. Now they are all gone away. Right now, like, I am not wearing any kind of foundation. It's kind of like no makeup I'm wearing. If you want to know how I achieve this no makeup look, then go ahead, hop onto my Instagram and you will find it there. Teenage acne, that's when I hit it. Then I use the typical homemade remedies like the basil mask and that clay mask, all those stuff. I use only those kind of stuff which were like homemade remedies. I was not into those kind of like fancy creams, or I don't went to like dermat, because according to my mother it was like absolutely normal to have acne at that point in time. Within a year or two it like started curing, like the hormonal imbalance which triggered, it started to getting better and better, like with each year. Like it got better, and by the time like after like 2 years or maybe 3, then I was like, my skin was clear and it was performing well, amazing. Yeah, my skin was getting better and it was amazing, and it was back to how it was clear again. So that's how I cured my acne at that point in time. But the story doesn't end here, because that was not the only time that the acne got triggered and got worse in my case. Another time when the acne hit me was when I was in my college, and I didn't knew even back then that I was suffering from the PCOD stuff. I wasn't aware of the fact that any kind of hormonal imbalance is happening, and that is kind of like triggering it, because when I was younger, then I was always told that you are just young, that's why you are getting these acne, and later in the age when you will be like around your 20s, then definitely you're not going to get any kind of acne or zits. And it was not only due to that, my lifestyle, like the eating habits, was absolutely bizarre. Like, absolutely bizarre means I never used to carry any kind of like lunch boxes with me. I never used to eat homemade food. I was always eating on like either junk or like either outside food, or hopping onto my friends' lunches. So yeah, thanks to all those friends' mother who were kind enough to send extra chapatis for me, so that was amazing. But yeah, eat a lot of like outside food. I was always munching on that, living on that, basically surviving on that. Well, then the hormonal imbalance, the other thing which absolutely is the main reason behind the triggering of acne when I was back in college, is the pollution and the quality of air and the dust. I was a homebody for so long, the time when I didn't got my acne, like in my 11th. So in my 11th and 12th grade, and even like in the starting first year, my skin was behaving fine and it didn't give me any kind of trouble. But behind that is like I was not traveling while I was in 11th, 12th grade. I'm traveling when I got into college, and I started facing all this dust and pollution and everything because it was too much heat, humid weather. So there were a lot of factors, that was, compiling itself and, triggering those acne. I used to have those kind of like red bumps over my cheek. Those kind of acne were there. It was not like my whole face was covered with all those stuff, but still I was facing those kind of stuff only because of like, the weather and everything. So back in the day, I was very annoyed with the fact that, why I'm getting these acne and I want to look good. Why am I getting it? I know I'm, facing pollution and all, but yeah, I can't help about it. But what is the other reason? Like, the pollution and kind of stuff will give you only white kind of zits. The reason behind that is it clogs your pores, and later on it forms bacteria behind your skin and just white zit pops up. During my college days, I went to an Ayurvedic doctor, and I figured out like, having cramps on like during my periods, it's not normal. It's absolutely not normal. To have that much pain or like to wear that much pain, it's not fine and it's not working well. Something's wrong within my body and I'm not aware. That is completely fine. Like, it's absolutely fine if you are if you are dealing some kind of internal body issues, but you need to work upon it. So then my Ayurvedic doctor treated me and gave me some medicines. I went through that Ayurvedic course. That cured my cramps for that point of time. My period pains were like very, very minimized. It was like bearable. It was not like I started shivering or I need bed rest. All those things were like kind of like gone. I'm taking care of the fact that when I come back from college, I used to clean my face with the Kaya cleanser, and then I used to use that toner that comes with there was like a kit. Like the toner, the cleanser, and there was the sunscreens. I used to apply all three stuff. It worked for me back in the day, the salicylic acid and everything. It worked for me, and so that's how I cured my acne while back I was in college. But that was not the end. The moment you stop taking care of your skin or your body, then it will start behaving differently. And I stopped getting these kind of acne because I started taking care of my skin using my CTM process and everything else, like to treat the existing acne. So that happened, and I cured all my scars. The acne didn't went permanently away. This is I'm into technical stuff, so it requires more of my concentration towards my work. And when I'm doing my technical stuff, trust me, I just don't care about anything. Anything means like anything. I really don't care. Like nothing bothers me. Like if anyone is passing by or not, I'm just totally focused on my technical skills. And my skin had taken a step back during that point of time. So as I said, the moment you stop taking care of your skin, it will start behaving differently, even if you skip the one day. So that one day turned into like almost like 5-6 months or a year. So that one day turned into like 6 months or a year, and I stopped taking care of my skin the way I used to take care of it. Then I thought, okay, I'm not able to take care of my skin, and I have no time to put my mind into it, like how I can cure my acne. So I visited a dermat in Noida. The dermat was able to cure my acne. What he prescribed me was, he prescribed me some like vitamin tablets, some own like face wash. There was this gel to dry out the acne, and there was this another gel to remove all the scars, and then there was this cream you have to apply, like moisturizing cream, and there was also sunscreen as well. Eating all those tablets for like a month or two, then it's my acne. I started getting less of acne, or almost like no acne. There was like only one acne here which was like kind of bothering me. But yeah, all of the rest of the acne were like cured. They were not many, to be honest. There were like 1 or 2 or 3 here. But even if there is a one acne on my skin, it starts bothering me. That's kind of a natural thing. Even if one thing or two shows up, it will start bothering me. So now with time, I've understood the fact that it's okay, let it be. It's just resting on your skin. It's just eventually it will go. It's like yes, it comes and go. That's the kind of pep talk I give to myself whenever I have a zit or acne on my face. Even if that happens now, I do give myself this kind of like pep talk again and again. It doesn't matter how many times I have to tell myself, but I do tell myself. it stopped working. You know, those vitamins and those like creams and everything else, it just stopped working for me, and I again started getting all those kind of like acne again. So the dermat was a fail for me, and then I went to another dermat which was like very renowned one. He was, I went to Sake. So I went to Sake, Delhi, but that was a horrible experience, I must say, because I told him everything, like how I got these acne and whatever I was feeling, how my body was behaving. I told him each and every point which was mandatory to tell, and I didn't skip even a single point there. He prescribed me some kind of antibiotics which didn't work for me. In fact, it did the reverse. I didn't have any kind of like small zits on my face. Tiny bump on your skin is what I'm referring to as tiny zits. So they were like clusters of it at some area and other, and they're like all over my cheeks. At least 10 to 20, not 20, okay, so at least 10 to 15 zits were there on my face. The very next day, I had that antibiotic medicine prescribed by that dermat. And I was actually anxious with the fact that what am I doing wrong? I'm doing exactly what I've been asked to do, and now still I'm getting these kind of acne, and even like not even the acne, it's like even worse. And those tiny bumps didn't went away for at least next 6 months. It went away with time. That it was an absolute waste of money for me. So I still now I haven't been able to find a dermat that works for me. So that was, you know, there, and then I just thought, okay, I'll stop visiting dermat because I'm not able to find which or like who is able to understand my skin. They are just experimenting with my face, and I cannot let them do that, because to me it matters a lot, and it's like absolute everything for me. Like your face is everything. It's your identity. That's how people recognize you. They won't recognize you with your hand or feet or like, you know, anything else. There and then my dermat story ended, and I ended it up. I had no other option, because that was the best decision taken. Trust me, so far I never regret, you know. And adding to that, you know, whenever I used to ask my dermat, like, you know, if there is any kind of precaution that I need to take, or, you know, anything, you know, which is triggering the acne, and all of them said only one thing, that is, no, you can eat whatever you want. If you want to stay away, you can just stay away from the oily food, and that's about it. And they were absolutely of no help. I was just wasting my money, and I was not getting even any kind of like answers, like what was the exact reason behind my acne. You need to figure out yourself that what is working for you, and how does your skin each time use a new or a different product. Taking the matter into my hands, I started experimenting with the acne and zits which I was having on my face, and I started noticing the fact, you know, what all the products were working for me and what all were not working for me. And I figured out the fact that none of the face washes, be it Kaya or be it Himalaya face wash or be it any other face washes, none of them were working for me. Even the Cetaphil cleanser one was not working for me. In fact, it was doing the exact opposite. The moment I used to use those face washes, and the another day I used to have a kind of like pimple popping up my skin. So that was the story behind it, and none of the toners were also working for me. I was like in kind of like a haywire in my head that what is happening. So none of the products which used to work earlier for me was working for me now, and I discovered the fact that, you know, the reason behind none of the products is working for me is that you know, the overuse of the products on my skin. It has almost like, you know, removed a kind of like a protection layer of my skin. So that's why my skin has started reacting to all those products which earlier, you know, kind of like helping my skin to cure acne. Now it's not, because of the removal of the, I think, kind of like protection layer which your skin has, the barrier shield. The overuse of products, it can just, you know, damage your skin from like till like inside. So that's what happened with me. And then while experimenting, I used Savlon on my face, like diluting it and then applying it on my face, and it caused the burning on my skin on whatever places I had those acne. So it burned my skin. I was like so low or so down. My morale was like so down. I was like, okay, I can't go out now. I can't show my face to anyone. I was so destroyed in my head. And I was like, okay, so there is no point in time I'm going to get my skin back, and, you know, this is accepted the fact, you know, this is going to be my identity now, you know, with all those kind of like burnt marks. And then, you know, again I tried to consult a dermat, but back in my head I was like, okay, I cannot use all those products. They never worked for me before, and now the another dermat is telling me the exact same thing, and it didn't work out for me as I expected. I tried it for once, but it never worked out for me. I applied and I used it only for like 1-2 days, but I had no confidence in the fact that it's going to work for me. But you guys must consult a dermat, because you're able to find a dermat that that understands your skin well and can help you or guide you towards getting a better skin. That was another story that experimenting with Savlon. Never ever experiment with your skin, guys. Do not ever do that. I think out of like kind of depression, I was just almost started using everything and anything to just remove all those kind of like acne or acne scars from my face away. But finally I recognized the fact that all those kind of like antioxidants and good ingredients which I was taking to keep my body fit and better and to increase my immune system and all those kind of like stuff which everyone tells you over YouTube, to incorporate all these stuff, it's like absolutely fine. I agree to the fact they are like amazing things to add into your diet, but trust me, it doesn't work for each and everyone. Understand your body type, and that was the thing kind of like triggering my acne. And the another thing which I recognized is like sugar. As soon as I increase the intake of my sugar, like the moment it crosses certain limit, I used to start getting zits. And also I realized the fact that the face washes doesn't work for my skin anymore, so I had to switch to soaps. So that is the one change I made. And when it comes to the toner, nothing suits my skin. I only use rose water and nothing else. Nothing suits my skin. None of the toners outside suits my skin, so I never use anything like that. In fact, what the toner does is, even if I try to use the non-alcohol one, it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work on my skin, because I know my skin is very sensitive, so it doesn't work for my skin. All those kind of like soaps work on my skin now and helps it to stay clean and clear. And I haven't made much changes in my diet now, but they are still like I try to eat healthy as much as possible. But I haven't skipped to all those kind of like salads and everything. I still take a little bit or like some amount of sugar every day, but I try to keep it like less, and don't go overboard with the sugar. So that's what I try to keep. I always try to keep in my mind. And the moment I stop taking care of my skin, like if I wash my face like in the morning and the evening, then it behaves very well. And if I skip even one time, then it will start behaving differently. So that is something you need to take care of. At least I take care of that. So yes guys, that was it for today's video. I know this video has been like kind of like very quite long. I didn't expect myself to be talking this long with you guys, but yeah, I finally made it. But yeah, I enjoyed making this video and chatting with you guys. It was amazing. I hope you learned something from this video, and stay tuned for the another part which I am going to be recording super soon, in which I'm going to share my skincare which I'm following right now, what all process I follow now and what all products I follow now to keep my skin clean and clear. And they are only like tiny bit, like one acne mark here and one here and one here. They are also like very tiny, and it can be covered with like concealer or anything. You can just conceal it with it and it's just gone. The reason I got these tiny bits, it's like absolutely my fault, because as I said, even if you skip your routine or like even if you stop taking care of your skin, one day you will get the reward the very next day. And that's what these rewards are all about, like 1, 2 and 3. These 3 rewards are all about that. I'll shut my mouth now, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, toodles.